My friend, you are all invited to my channel with cordial invitation. So now we will describe about the new stupidity of the Taliban. These Taliban are Herculean, but these are very toxic Herculean. These are the jokers who are creating nonsense throughout the world. And the foreign policy of Taliban, Mr. Akhundaja, the chief of the Taliban, has described that our foreign policy will be depend on the Shariyat, means the Islamic doctrine of violence against the non-Muslims or Kafirs. So in Sharia, there is so many clauses that a Mu'min cannot ask money from the non-Muslim or Kafir, but he can snatch or rob the wealth of the non-Muslim of Kafirs. Are these Taliban are doing the same as did by the Prophet Muhammad Sahib and his companions at the time of launching of Islam. Islam is a launch, a missile, a very misguided missile, and these missile in this missile, these Taliban are programming to uh, programming to according to this Sharia. The Sharia law is very, very cruel and very, very atrocity against the non-Muslims or Kafir. In Sharia, there is lot of rules are against the humanity and the mankind, and it is very terrible to the mankind. The Shariat law. Shariat law says that there is no Muslim, there is no non-Muslim can reside in the Islamic country without paying the Zakat tax. That is uh, known as the extortion tax or hafta wasuli in the simple Indian language. The main leader of Taliban is Habatullah Akhundaja. He decided that we will play foreign policy with the non-Muslims or Kafir as per the Sharia or as per the Islamic doctrine, which is very, very impractical now. And these Herculeans, these monsters are creating a nonsense, and this show that their idiocy in the name of the Islam. So what he said in his lecture in conference in a meeting that by curse of Allah we have by curse of Allah we have taken or encroached the regime of the Afghanistan, though it has had the government which was elected as the democratical setup, but we have snatched them because Islam does not allow the democracy in the Islamic countries. This is the dictatorship of Islam, and these Taliban are the student of this Islamic doctrine on violence and apartheid. Because according to Islam, the non-Muslims are just like beasts, and they are suitable to kill, and their women are suitable to raped by these Talibans as per Shariat law. Habibullah Kojanda, he he decided that he will conduct with the international relations according to the Sharia. So this Sharia cannot be interact with the relation of humanity and the non-Muslims. So where there is no use of this Sharia in the international relation. This is in vague, and this Sharia is just like to thrown out into the dustbin because this Sharia cannot run with the international relationship with the other countries. So Taliban are most stupid people of this world who are creating nonsense and stupidity throughout the world, and people are laughing on the Habdullah Akhundzada. Hamdullah Akhundzada was a Islamic cleric or a Maulvi or Islamic teacher in a mosque of KPK of Pakistan. He was a teacher before the Taliban encroached or occupied the Afghanistan from the Hamid Karzai. The president was won as in election as per democratic setup of Afghanistan. So these stupid So this stupid Heptullah Akunjada are trying to saying that we will impose Sharia on the relation of the other countries. Why they will obey the Sharia? The Sharia is a very violent ideology. Sharia is a very unhumanitarian nature, and Sharia is a stupidity among the Muslims, and Sharia is stupidity to others. Why they will follow the Sharia? And what mean of this Sharia in the international relationship? There is no relationship. Sharia is in vacuum in the modern time. Why this stupid Heptullah Khunjada didn't understood this, that this Sharia is in vacuum and there is no use of this Sharia at this time. Even the Muslims, they are not following the Sharia because they are known to the treacherousness and obnoxious way of this Sharia. So he announced in Taliban that we will provide a policy to the all nations throughout the world that we will decide according to Sharia. Though the Taliban have no capacity, no value in the international forum, even the Taliban government has yet to be recognized by any country because no one country has decided to recognize this Taliban government. Even Saudi Arabia, Pakistan also has not decided that they will support Taliban government or not because Saudi Arabia has a relation with the non-Muslim countries, and if we will not purchase the oil from the Saudi Arabia or the oil producing countries, certainly they will be in distress because these countries have no other resources of to generate of revenues, and there is no charm in the tourism in these countries because there are only sand dunes and the warm weather without water, and the scarcity of water in this country uh, does not attract the tourists throughout the world. If these tourists might to become, they will come to India certainly, or Myanmar, or Australia, because these countries have less of green fields and no scarcity of water and no scarcity of the transport. Even in Saudi Arabia, I think there is no railways. In Qatar, Oman, there is no railways, and in Afghanistan is the most backward country due to the Sharia or due to the Islam. Islam is the Afghanistan is lagging behind due to the Islamic doctrine because Islamic doctrine is so orthodox that it cannot allow in the singing and many other work which is very practical nowadays. So the Taliban is the group of the stupids or the foolish person who deteriorate or who destruct the Bamiyan Buddhist to statues. Those statues are the um, example of the architecture, but these Islamic Taliban monasteries destructed the Buddha Bamiyan statues. So what he said that he will introduce the Sharia with interrelation with the international countries, with the other countries. What type of a stupidity? And this is only a joke. And what type of these people are thinking? They are living in the fool's paradise, and they are build castle in the air, and they think that they will survive with Sharia. They cannot be survived with Sharia. However, however, they are saying that Allah is with us. No matter, Allah is with us. The many angels, the lakhs of angels with us, but you cannot survive with Allah's Shariyat and the Islamic doctrine. You will not be survived anymore due to because this doctrine of Allah and the Sharia is very very weak, and it is against the mankind, and it is very weak. This Sharia and Allah cannot do even single harm to the non-Muslim or kafir, unless the moments, moments, if moments will try to create nonsense and violence, Allah cannot do even a single, uh, even a even a single crime without the help of the moments. So Sharia is the totally the propagated or perpetrated the crimes according to Islamic doctrine. And the information ministry of the Taliban in Afghanistan, Habibullah Khunjandar, Hab- Hab- Habibullah Akhundaja, uh, the new announcement was published in his newspaper that Afghanistan will decide the foreign policy according to the Sharia. What a stupidity of these Islamic monsters! Are they are living the fool's paradise? Highway, or they will get the Jannat or heaven after death? No, this is only a stupidity. There will be no Jannat. There will be no 72 horse. It is only a fake fake ideas of Prophet Muhammad Sahib for greeting the Muslims who were who was with Prophet Muhammad Sahib, because the Prophet Muhammad Sahib tried to increase the number of Muslims to fight against those Jews which were mockery against the Prophet Muhammad Sahib due to his abnormal thoughts and abnormal deeds. So they thought that the Jews thought that this Prophet Muhammad is not under the good mental health stage, and he was the patient of the LFC or Mirg in Hindi. So this is why these people, the Talibans, are also infected with the LFC. These Taliban have also disease of Mirgi, or the unsound health of mind, and this is why they are thinking just like stupids, and this foolishness will drag them into the trench of underdevelopment or zero development. The Afghanistan is very undeveloped country in this world. I think the human index HID of the of the Afghanistan just above one or two countries. So this is the reflection of the Islamic doctrine which deteriorated the Taliban and Afghanistan, and the Afghani people are living in distress and in great frustration and in great poverty due to this Islamic doctrine or the Sharia, which which was imposed by these Taliban after snatched the power from Hamid Karzai, Afghanistan, on the last year on 15th August 1921. So certainly these Talibans and the Habatullah Khundajara is living in the fool's paradise and is making and fools lives in fool's paradise and are building the castle in the air known as the Hawaii Killa. And you see, this Taliban or Islamic government is not recognized still by any country, even the Islamic country. And Afghanistan is under the great distress of poverty and the poverty uh, and the shortage, acute shortage of foodstuffs. Even the government of India has donated many tons of wheat to these Afghanis due to on the humanity basis. But if Sharia does not allow to friendship with kafirs, then why these shameless uh, people and this shameless person, Habatullah Akhundzada, took the wheat from the Indian government because this wheat was cropped by the Hindu, Sikh, and other non Muslims farmers also. So, this is the treacherousness of these Talibans or these Islamic followers that they are always defend that this wheat was from the Allah side. But we cannot say that there is any Allah. But this is the treacherousness and the shamelessness of this Habatullah Khandaja that he took the wheat from the India, even the vaccine for COVID took from the India. So why not your Allah is so almighty that he couldn't make any vaccine to you? You are the Mu'min, the follower of Islam, and your Allah is so cruel against you that He did not provide any vaccine to you. And Habatullah Khundada did not took any vaccine from Allah. What is the matter? Allah is so weak; he cannot manufacture even the vaccine to the all Muslims of the world. And you are deciding to the foreign relation with the countries according to Sharia. And this Sharia supposed to be the Allah order or the Prophet order. But this Sharia could not give you vaccine and the wheat. What type of you stupids? And the Talibans are the most stupids among this world. And this is why they are doing such type of airplane activities or such types of abnormal activities as did by Prophet Muhammad Sahib himself. So you see, in Afghanistan there is a scarcity of drinking water, scarcity of foodstuffs, scarcity of full attire to the women. There is a lot of restriction on the women that they cannot read, write, or study in the universities and the schools. They cannot work in the any institution. So this is the reason of the poverty among the Muslims, and this is why these Taliban are the great monsters or uh, great enemy of the Afghanis people. If everywhere in Islam is protecting you, then why this Islamic doctrine couldn't couldn't give you the vaccine and the food stuff to the Afghanistan? So, what type of this Allah, which is very cruel against the Muslims, not only the Kafirs, but it is also against the Muslims because he could not provide a single vaccine to these Muslims. All the vaccine, those were vaccinated by the in the Islamic country, used by the Islamic country, all from the kafir scientist. So you see what a stupidity of these Talibans. They are deciding the foreign policy according to their Sharia. What is this Sharia? In India, Sharia means in Hindi a long rod of iron, which is known as Sharia. So what they want to try to say that they will follow the Sharia. What meaning of this Sharia? Sharia is a rod of iron. Why you are following this Sharia? This Sharia is very dangerous, and this Sharia will insert you. If this Sharia will enter inside your own your back holes, or then certainly this Sharia will reopen your all the doors for the buildings. So what type of stupidity you are doing? And the Afghanistan is under process of acute financial crisis, but these peoples are screaming or shouting, Sharia, Sharia. Are you stupid? Are you mental retarded person? Then the Taliban's must go in psychiatric clinics due to their uh, their diagnosis, and you should take medical care for removal of the this mental retardedness or psychiatric illness of your brain. And all the countries are forcing to the Taliban to open the schools and work and the offices for working to the women. But the Talibans are so stupid, they are denying this. They are denying this. And this lecture, which was delivered by Habatullah Khunda in Kandahar, according to Taliban news agency Bakhtar, in Kandahar, around 3,000 tribal leaders, officers, and the religious Islamic duffers. I cannot say them as Islamic scholar because the Islam has a false aspect of science and many verses of Quran against the science. So these Islamic duffers, Abdullah Khuzanda announced that we will decide or we will that, and he gave direction to the relation with foreign countries according to Sharia. In his lecture, he said that this meeting is only for the God's sake, and due to this Allah we got freedom. This freedom not got by the Afghani people, but this freedom is for only Taliban who are stupids and are creating nonsense and saying what a uh, Herculean talk that we will decide our foreign policy according to Sharia. By the grace of Allah, he said, by grace of Allah, we and our mujahideen means Islamic terrorist took this freedom from their blood. Though, what need of this blood war? This is your covetousness or greatness to occupy the Afghani territory for your fulfill the lust and looting the wealth of the Kafirs and Sikhs Hindus. And this is you are doing the same treacherous work as Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu looted the caravans of Jewish tribes. So, this type of talk, we can say that Taliban are mentally retired people and they have too much requirement of many psychiatrics doctors in Afghanistan. My appeal to United Nations of organization that please send many thousand doctors in Afghanistan for the treatment of these mentally ill people as Talibans. In this announcement, in his speech, Akhundzada said that will we will uh, we will fight with the international countries according to Sharia. If Sharia will not allow this, that how we cannot deal with any country. Afghanistan has nothing to deal to another countries because Afghanistan is a Bhukananga country, means poverty and uh, hunger and abandoned country. So Afghanistan has no capacity to deal with those countries which are developed or developing countries. So this is such type of this that you are hoping as too much as you have nothing against those hopes which you have propagated in your brains or in your mind due to your stupidity. Actually, you are the mentally retarded person and are living in the 20th 21st century and are living yet you are living in the 200 to 2 AD, but you are living in the 6th century at that time of Prophet Muhammad. He did same as you are doing. So such type of stupidity cannot be run nowadays because this is the only a joke which you are creating that we will decide our foreign policy according to Sharia. Sharia in value. Sharia is nothing. Sharia is zero to other people who are not following the Islam. That what dreams you are seeing in the daylight, that this is your right, whether you have to see the dreams in the daylight or the night. This is your right, this is your fundamental right. But this is our fundamental right that we have to deal with these Taliban monster with Sharia or not. We are denying the Sharia and its influence. We the kafir do not recommend this Sharia because Sharia is very treacherous activity against the non-Muslims of Kafir. So we have decided that we will not cooperate with these Taliban stupids on the behalf of all Kafirs. Are you agree with me? If you are agree with me, please comment my comment box and subscribe my channel also. So this was the second meeting. And you see, these Talibani beggars are begging from the United States of America many lakhs of dollars. But America refused to give the dollars to these Taliban beggars because because United Nations America has struck down the Dr. Ayman al-Jawari with drone. So this is why these Taliban are very annoyed with the United States of America. But what these Taliban can do against America? The Taliban have zero, nothing in value, minus against the United Nations of America. These hungry and beggar Talibans are running on the double standard. One side they want to take dollars from the America, and the second and the other side they are trying to kill the Kafirs and trying to impose the Sharia in Afghanistan, and the women's the women in Afghanistan are very under threat of life, their lives, and they women's were forcibly married with these Taliban goons on the pinpoint of the AK-56 or AK-57. So this is so these Talibans are very very monsters. These are demons of on this earth nowadays. Habdullah Khojanda in 1906 was the supreme commander of Taliban, and before this Akhundaja in the northwest Pakistan city Kuchlak. In Kuchlak he was a Islamic teacher in Moscow, and due to this madrasa teacher he came in touch of Taliban, and by his negative wisdom, by his treacherousness, he became the supreme commander of Taliban. So he is a Islamic duffer law. I cannot say that Islamic scholar, because there is no scholar like doctrine and it's Islam. So this is a Islamic duffer in the Islamic law, and his decisions are the last in context of religious and military operations. And many times it was declared that he was killed by the drones, but now he is alive and he is released the press conference many times from Kabul or Kandahar. So please like, subscribe my channel and put the bell icon so every notification you could get well in time. Thank you. Good night. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Jai Vigyan. Vande Mataram, Jai Hind.